Hello, this is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates and soon to be operable crystal clear weather. First of all want to thank all of you who donate to the page and have helped keep it going. And I want to thank all of our sponsors for their support in helping keep this page going. So today I'm going to be talking about kind of putting some perspective on the way our winters have been the last few years, and our perception as a generation who has lived in a Goldilocks era for snowfall. Kind of putting into perspective the fact that just because we've had a handful of bad winters here lately doesn't mean that we never get snow. So with that, we'll move on and take a look at how the history has played out. So far, season to date, most of the U.S. snowfall has occurred to our northwest across the Great Plains into the interior of the Rocky Mountains, a little bit into the Pacific Northwest, and also a pretty heavy swath up in the northern New England areas. However, as you can see from the black arrow, the southeast, southern plains, south central U.S., the Gulf Coast, and of course Indiana and Ohio have seen very little snowfall. In fact, here in Madison County and most of Indiana, we've only seen a trace of snowfall to this point of the year. And while that's not common, it does happen from time to time, and this is one of those years. As I mentioned before, season to date, we've only had a trace of snowfall in Madison County, and in fact in most of Indiana. Again, far northern Indiana had one decent snowfall, but the vast majority of us have seen just a couple of little flurry activities and nothing that's really measurable. This will be only the fourth year on record for Anderson to have no measurable snowfall in December, matching the years of 1940, 1979, and 1992. This year will actually match 1979 for having no measurable snowfall recorded in November or December. Our last measurable snowfall was 287 days ago, but our longest streak is actually 345 days from February 18th of 1972 to January 28th of 1973. So we've got a ways to go before we'd match that. And it's worth noting that if we're feeling sorry for ourselves, New York City hasn't had snow of 1 inch or more in 682 days. We tend to look at the recent winters of 2016, 2017, 2022, and 2023, and so far this year, and it tends to make us as snow lovers think that we don't have any good winters anymore. But the truth is, all but one of our 40-plus inch winters have happened since the 1973-74 winter, while the people that were going through the winters from 1919 to 1950 actually had 0 30-inch winters, and 15 of those winters had 15 or fewer inches of snowfall. So to put that in perspective, that happened over the course of 31 years. As in the 72 years since, we've only had 13 winters with 1 inch or with 15 inches or less. So we're really not doing too bad. So with all that said, keep in mind that even if this does turn out to be another substandard winter, our average in Anderson is a little over 18 inches per winter over the last 30 years, and that's with a couple of big winters thrown in there. Overall, those of us who are, really most of us who are alive now, have lived through what was a Goldilocks era for big snowy winters. So that's why we tend to have the perception that it's, when we get these bad winters, that it doesn't snow like it used to. But again, if you refer back, we actually have lived where all of the 50-inch snowfall winters have happened. All 5 of them have happened in the last 50 years. All but one of the 40-inch winters and a whole lot of the 30-inch winters have occurred. So we really haven't, we've got a long way to go before we suffer anything like the warm, low snow winters that they had back in that 1919 to 1950 stretch. So just keep that all in mind. And again, if you support the page, thank you very much. If you don't support the page, please do so that you can have access to crystal clear weather when it comes around as well. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates and Crystal Clear Weather. Thank you very much.